Hello and welcome to the Ambtrans training video. In this video session I'm going to show you how to run Ambtrans for the first time, and I'm going to help you with some of your company specific settings that you're going to be setting up initially. So the first thing you do is when prompted with this setup wizard is you choose the licensing, meaning whether it's a free trial or it's a licensed version. For this demonstration I'm going to leave it as a free trial, which is a free beta. For this same reason I can skip step 2 because the server is only supported on the licensed version, where you actually set up a server and put Ambtrans on it, and client computers are going to be able to connect to the server simultaneously. But for this demonstration I'm going to skip this step. The administrative password, this is where you actually set up a password for the administrative account. Now the administrator is going to be able to set up other users that are going to be using Ambtrans, and the reason to set up other users would be so that management would be able to pinpoint and identify which users set up certain trips or certain clients. So I choose a password. Okay, now I'm prompted with the login. So since I've just created a password in the previous screen, you can type in that password here and log in. So the first thing you want to do as an administrator is set up other users. So to do that you click on File, Users, and this is where you actually specify other usernames. So to do that you click on the plus sign, you type in the username, choose a password for that user. Now in these fields you specify the rights of that user. So for example, do I want Aaron to be able to enter the client's module, and if he does enter, do I want him to have read access or write access? Write access is where he can edit users, edit clients, and read access is where he can just read client information. So for this demonstration I'm going to assign write rights to all the modules for Aaron. Now the ADM field is where you specify whether Aaron is going to be able to set up other users or delete other users of Ambtrans, meaning going into this screen. So I'm going to allow that. Click on the save button, and as you can see that username appeared here. So next time Ambtrans is closed and opened, the user by the name Aaron is going to be able to log in using his password. So next thing you want to do is set up some company specific settings. So to do that you click on File, Setup. Now the Locations tab is where you actually enter all the different locations that your company is going to be traveling to a lot. So for example, if you have nursing homes or hospitals or doctors' offices that you're going to be traveling to a lot, you can set up the information about these facilities here, so that when a user is going to be entering a trip, a user is going to be able to choose an address rather than type it in all the time. So I'm going to click on the plus sign, and I'm going to type in the name of the facility. Okay, once I'm done I can click on the save button, and as you can see this facility appeared here, and I can enter as many facilities as I want here. The next thing to do is to set up a vehicle. So you click on the Vehicles tab, and this is where you actually have you're going to have a list of all your vehicles, and this list will also appear in the dispatch module, where the dispatcher is going to be able to see all the vehicles and see their statuses, whether they're occupied right now or they're free to do other jobs. So to set up a new vehicle you click on the plus sign, and you type in the vehicle name. Now if your company, for example, has different vehicles, meaning some vehicles are ambulatory, some vehicles are for wheelchairs, some vehicles are for stretchers, you can differentiate between these vehicles by typing in different names. So for example, I'm going to type in AMP1. That's going to stand for ambulatory vehicle number 1. And I can type pretty much anything I want in this field. Now the pager number. The pager number is where if a vehicle is equipped with a pager, you can type in the email address of that pager into this field, so that when a dispatcher, for example, needs to send some information to that vehicle, to that driver, the dispatcher would be able to page trip information to that vehicle. Now, where does Ambtrans know what's the email address for that vehicle? Is from this field. And I know, for example, for Verizon phones, the format is something like this, where you actually type in the phone number with the area code and then put in at vtext.com. And so if you're going to send an email to this address, that phone is going to receive it as a text message. And most of the pagers are capable of doing that. So then you click on Save, and now we've entered this vehicle. Now I can enter another vehicle. This one is going to be, let's say, wheelchair. And I'm going to put in a different email address. And I'm going to click on Save. Now we're ready to set up an insurance. Click on the Insurance tab. And to set up a new insurance, we click on the plus sign. Type in the insurance name. Now the Send Bill To field is where you actually specify where the bills are going to be sent to for this insurance. So it could be either directly to the insurance company or it could be to the client. So for this I'm going to choose the insurance company. And I'm going to click on Save. Now for example, if your company is going to have a lot of clients who are going to be paying privately for their trips, in that case you can set up an insurance by the name of Private Pay, just like that. And you can just type in client's address here, because this field is not going to matter for this case. I'm going to choose in this case client. So all the trips that are going to have this Private Pay as the insurance, the bills are going to go to the client directly. And I click on Save. Okay, and now you see this list appears here. Now once we've set up the insurance, we're ready to set up a service. Each insurance can have multiple services, meaning which type of services they pay for. So I click on the Service tab, I choose the Insurance, blue choice option, I click on the plus sign to set up new, and I'm gonna name this service Wheelchair, meaning that they're gonna be paying for a wheelchair trip. And in these fields over here I specify the different prices. So the base price is just the initial price for the trip. So let's say it's $15. Extra man. Extra man is a field where you specify the price for an extra driver that needs to come and do that trip. So for example, if a client is very heavy, or if the client lives, let's say, on the 3rd floor, one driver can probably not do that wheelchair trip. So for that reason, dispatcher is going to have to send another driver or another person, another staff member to do that trip. And whether your company charges for that or not, this is for something you and your insurance to decide. So we're going to enter, let's say, $5 for an extra man. Add driver price. This is where you specify whether you're going to be charging for a companion that's traveling with the patient. If you're not going to be charging for that, you can leave it as zero. If you are going to be charging for that, you can type in the price here. Steps price. Step is basically the staircase. If your company is going to be charging for each step in the staircase, because it's going to be harder to do those trips, so you can specify that here. wait price. Now, before the trip is done, let's say, before the client is picked up, let's say the driver had to wait for the client for several minutes, whether you're going to be charging for that or not. And it's also same thing here, it's for you or your insurance company to decide, but you can specify that here. And the price is per minute. So for example, if I want to charge $1 per minute of wait, I can specify that here. Miles is a field where you specify the price you're going to be charging for each mileage, for each mile, if you're going to be charging for that. So I'm going to, let's say, charge $2 for each mile. Click save. Now it's saved. Now this service is only related to this insurance Blue Choice option. Now I can set up another service. I click on the plus sign. And this service I'm going to enter as an ambulatory. So the base price for the ambulatory is going to probably be a little bit cheaper. Now extra man, I'm probably not going to charge an extra man. Why? Because if a person is ambulatory, meaning the person can walk, he's probably not going to need an extra driver to do that trip. So I'm going to put 0 here. Add rider, if people are gonna, if this patient is gonna have a companion or not. If what I want to charge, I'm gonna leave it as $2. Steps price, I'm gonna probably put it as 0, because if the patient is able to walk, it doesn't take more people to do that trip, or more effort to do that trip if it has steps or staircase. And these fields I'm gonna leave the same. So I click on save. Now we can see that Blue Choice option has 2 services. Now you can enter as many services as you'd like. So for example, some companies have services that charge mileage and do not charge mileage for certain distances. So you can enter in that case a name as wheelchair mileage, and then another service with the name wheelchair no mileage. And after you're done with this insurance, you can set up same thing with the private pay insurance. You can set up different services: wheelchair, wheelchair, ambulatory, stretcher, or taxi, and anything you want pretty much. So once you've set everything up, you're also able to actually print and export this, all these lists that we have here. Now to do that, you click on the print export button, which brings up the preview. And once you have the preview, you can either click on File, Print, and select the printer to print to, or you can click on this box over here and choose the format where you want to export this list to. So for example, if you want this to be an Excel spreadsheet, or a PDF, or a CSV, you do that here. And there is pretty much it for the setup. After you did your initial setup, you're pretty much ready to start using Ambtrans and start setting up clients, trips, dispatch, accounting, which you can watch our next video sessions to learn about that. Thank you for watching.